Super Spears Brothers. 64.
So the funny thing about slavery is the fact that it was terrible. See, you laughed.
That's just because I'm an awful person. Here's the thing that I find about slavery is about interesting. Is that
Go on.
well, okay, it's
Oh, hey, when you get a power up and you have 4 power ups, it gives you a bunch of notes. I forgot. Did you figure that out earlier?
We did.
I forgot that.
In the level where we finally learned that you can blow bubbles. I don't know why we hadn't tried.
Watching those earlier levels is, especially that one where we're just standing around, I was like, how do we shoot things up? Can we shoot up? And it's just like, no, we're so dumb. Why are we so dumb? See? Yeah, see? Harpoon gun. I call it.
The harpoon gun, you were right.
Anyway, funny thing about slavery.
No, so the funny thing about slavery is, so what's the deal?
When a slave walks into a room, he's like, my life is meaningless and toil and empty and painful. When a master walks into a room, he's like, I don't have any cares because I own people. My stand-up act didn't go over very well when I did it in the South.
Or anywhere.
Oh, anyway. Oh, what's this? Stars. Is that the bad guy from Resident Evil 3? No, he wants to kill stars. I don't think that's...
Let's try this.
Whee! Okay. Fair enough. Do we get another minigame?
I hope it's as bad as the last minigames
Oh, no.
have been.
This is worse. The minigames in this game are kind of underwhelming.
Yeah, all the bonus levels are kind of underwhelming. Speaking of bonus levels, let's talk a bit more about slavery.
Alright.
So it's commonly believed that that what's his name?
Pastor Jack?
Who's the guy who was like a big deal in the United States because he wore a big hat? Abraham Lincoln. There's a common belief that Abraham Lincoln like wanted blacks and whites to be equal. It's part of the whole myth of the American dream and that there's a one man came in and fixed everything when nobody else could.
Yeah.
In fact, it's not terribly well known that although you can find it on a lot of websites of it's not black supremacists. It's it's just kind of people who are interested in black history. That Lincoln actually spoke out vociferously against equality between black people and white people, saying that as far as he's concerned, that blacks are inferior to whites, and that they should, that as long as he lives, there will never be equality between the races because he doesn't want that to happen.
Yeah.
But he says, basically, I think we could make it a little bit easier on our inferior black friends. And so he basically thought that maybe slavery was a bit unfair to them and wanted to kind of make their load a bit easier. But he certainly didn't want them to vote or have any power. No. And that this was something that he, stated explicitly in numerous speeches to different groups. It's not a secret that he that he was not big on black and white equality until the whole war thing went on. And he also wasn't the first person to make slavery illegal by any means. It was already illegal in the British Empire, and therefore
it was already illegal most places, really.
Yeah, it was already illegal in Canada because it was
illegal in the British Empire.
That's right. We were still part of the British Empire at that point. And to this very day, it's still practiced in many countries. Yeah. There's not just in
dictatorship hellholes.
No, not just in dictatorship hellholes, but people are
there's people in Canada who are technically enslaved.
Yeah, and there's people that are kidnapped and brought into slavery in other countries.
Yeah, and then there's the whole sex slave industry.
That's right.
And
but there
this is a happy episode. Oh my god.
Well, but here's what I'm going to say on the issue. Is first of all, maybe slavery's not so bad. No, wait, that's not what I was going to say with that.
Yeah, I think that's the opposite of what you want to be saying.
I don't know where I go next. It seems like I've run into a little bit of a wall.
It's actually a pretty big wall, really.
Yeah, thanks. Not sure what I do. We'll have to work this out real quick here. If I can't figure it out,
just finish your thought and then we might skip ahead.
Okay. So anyway,
nope.
Oh, whoops. Sorry.
Just nope.
The other thing is that after slavery was abolished in the U.S. after the big war purportedly for the freedom of black people, they didn't provide them with any land or money or anything else like that. So in many cases, they ended up as indentured workers working on the white people's land for tiny wages, and actually they didn't have many of them ended up homeless, where before they had homes with their slave owners. Yeah. And so it's good that slavery was abolished, but not much was actually done to
Press National Acorn and see if there's anything
improve the lives of the people that had been slaves.
Yeah.
Very little was done. In fact, they didn't really care.
No.
And so when people say, well, slavery was over, like, 100 years ago or 200 years ago or whatever, which first of all isn't very long.
No, there's people still pissed off with things that happened 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, but second of all, it's not like the slavery ended and then black people and white people were equal.
Yeah, it's nothing we need to do like a
or
big
even
party
equivalent.
Yeah, we're good.
But black people like
legal civil rights aren't even. There wasn't even really fully legal civil rights, but like not until the 60s really, the civil rights bill.
Yeah, and that's not
and even
very
that
long
was
ago.
not 100%. That's like less. That's like a generation.
Plus, most American-made items, like American-made electronics, are made in prisons.
Yeah.
By black people who are like
They get like little to no pay.
Little to no pay.
And don't have an option.
And many of them were arrested on like things like marijuana charges. Some of them on murder and rape, right? But many of them like on
a lot of drug charges.
A lot of drug charges and like use charges rather than not just distribution or sales charges. So a lot of the people
try going down to the right.
Due to their economic situation, are still basically making stuff for white folks for virtually no pay. But now their home, instead of living in the slave's house, is prison.
In a prison. Yeah.
In prison.
And that way we don't have to look at it.
So I mean, I'm not going to say that things haven't improved a lot for people of all like ethnicities in North America, and in many ways, like I'm glad we're not in slavery. I do believe that there are powerful black, white, Chinese, whatever different people, in socially and in different governments and stuff. But to say that it's all over now is ignorant and stupid.
Yes.
It's not all over now, and believing it's all over does not make it so.
Yeah.
So
can you sit down?
I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but
shoot no directions. See, this is what I was talking about with us being down. That's why I said shoot down. Oh, hey, you just spawned right out of the.
That's nice. This is where you would get the clue though, because you have no way out of here.
Yeah. So I got distracted by cake. Well, not cake, but.
My wife is signaling to me using some sort of obscure. Oh, she's
I'm
leaving.
going for a walk. She's drinking walking fingers.
She's got lots of. She's pregnant right now, and she's really happy that she still has some energy, even though she's carrying an additional couple pounds. She looks like she's carrying more, but it's because when you're pregnant, your organs just kind of move around.
Yeah, you basically develop hysteria.
I wish you would stop, because you've never explained what that means to people who don't know the history of the meaning of hysteria.
Oh, hysteria was a disease they believed for a really long time that women got, which was their I swear the name of the
hysteria literally means wandering womb.
Yeah, wandering womb. That the womb would wander around and that would cause them to have crazy emotions. And they sort of described all mental illness, depression, not agreeing with your husband.
Yeah, all of that
being aroused by things as hysteria.
It was hysteria, and hysteria, like hysterectomy, comes from the same root. It's actually when people say they're hysterical, it's actually referring to them being crazy because of their womb.
Yeah.
So when you tell somebody they're hysterical, you may not know it, and you may not be intentional. But it actually, the origin is definitely...
Oh, yeah, we got them all. Cool.
Yay!
Yeah, but it's definitely terrible.
It's definitely all about, like, oh, what? That woman cried when I raped her? She must be her womb.
Yeah. Oh, she's
her womb's acting up.
Yeah.
Having crazy womb feelings. I got a window installed in my womb. It's a womb with a view.
Heyo.
I saw some fish the other day that were carrying babies, and they were going womb, 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 womb. That only makes sense if you are familiar with Bert and Ernie. I was trying to turn around. I couldn't do it.
See, I was just going to say, I don't know. I like...
This is where game over happens right here.
You got an extra life. You're fine.
Anyway, what were you gonna say before I indelicately murdered myself there?
I just like pregnant music just because it's like wom 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 wom. That's it. That's it. I was making a dubstep joke.
Oh, I see. It's a dubstep joke. Okay.
Yeah.
Basically,
I wonder when dubstep's not good. Is it still a thing? It's still a thing.
Is hating dubstep still a thing?
I don't think people care anymore. They sort of accepted that it has I don't know. I follow weird circles.
I'm
I don't
not-
think people care about it really.
I'm not really big on like on like just like hating like stuff because it's dumb.
Yeah.
I'm just like it'll pass.
And
Like,
if it doesn't, then we'll get used to it.
Like
whatever.
if our country is murdering people in like some other country, like that's a big deal because
Yeah,
those
if they're
people.
murdering people here, it's fine. But
Yeah. I don't care about those people. They're all stupid and ugly.
stupid white people
God.
or natives, I guess.
Or whoever they murder. I don't care. Murder somebody.
Yeah, you have to murder someone. You might as well make it local. You know.
That's
We
right.
believe in keeping it local. Here,
That's
at
right.
Super Spears Brothers.
That's right. Think global. Act local.
Yeah.
In terms of who you murder.
See, I think local and act global. That's what I do.
Yeah, I basically do the same thing.
I just accidentally cause huge global changes by mistake.
It's the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
I employ the butterfly effect, but I do it on purpose,
There you go.
which makes it increasingly implausible.
What if I strangle this butterfly? What kind of storm will that cause?
Think about how many people you murder every time that you every time you move a desk, because like the long-term effects of it are so unpredictable that eventually, somebody is just dead.
Yeah.
Like-
Probably not very many.
No, probably not. The butterfly effect is interesting though because it really says that every effect has a not equal and not opposite reaction. It actually has like a reaction that spawns like forever.
That's quite beyond
It has
observable
ripple
knowledge.
effects that couldn't possibly predicted,
Yeah.
which is why it doesn't really matter what you do.
Yeah,
That-
so just, enslave people and cause their wombs to wander around.
Yeah. So on the next episode, we'll be murdering people and
Hopefully talking about things that are less terrible. Like, oh my god.
sliding around wombs.
Yeah. Dum, dum, dum.